Hey guys, I want to talk with you this week about chapter 28, and that is the router. The router is an amazing machine. If I had to pick a favorite machine, but don't tell the other machines, if I had to pick a favorite machine, it might be the router because it's amazing. And listen to what it says. The router is one of the absolute most versatile tools for woodworking. A router has a vertical shaft into which bits. So we learned about a machine a little bit ago that used bits, and that was the drill press. And so the router has bits that are fastened in. On the drill press, they change in sizes and then also the style of the drill bit. So like a twist drill bit, Forstner drill bit. But on the router, unlike the drill press, the bits do change, but the cut or the profile changes. So different types of cut can be made depending on the type of bit that's used. Typically, the router is used for dados, we know, is a cut that goes across the grain, a three-sided cut that goes across the grain. Rabbets, a two-sided cut can go with or across the grain. And a groove is a three-sided cut that goes with the grain. We learned all about that. It can also be used for joinery like mortising. We learned about that. Planing and also shaping as well. Two different types of routers are fixed base and plunge router, and you're going to see that in the Nearpod, and you're going to see it on page 2 here. Fixed base does not move up and down. It stays fixed. And a plunge router can plunge in and up during the cut. We're going to use this in class to do what's called freehand routing. Here's a few of the different types of cuts the router can make. Rabbiting, straight cuts, roundovers, dovetails, ogis, beads, chamfers, sashes, copes, and a cove, all different types. Two different types of router bits. Those with piloted ends, you can see A has a piloted end, and those without, C does not. Look at the difference. Ones with pilots, they're meant to ride along the edge. Those without pilots are meant to be used for the inside of a board, like for a rabbet, a dado, or a groove. It's going to talk to you now in the chapter when you read it about the direction of feed. It also is mentioned in the Nearpod. With the handheld router, we should always go left to right. And so you can see on the illustration, they're going left to right. When they get away from themselves, then it appears they're going right to left, but it's still left to right. It's the direction of the grain. And the same thing on the inside. It switches as you go around. Next, we'll talk about making straight cuts. To make straight cuts, you have to use a long guide. Long guides are better. And then it's going to talk about making different templates, inlays. And then last but not least are your 8 questions at the back of the chapter. Hey, if you have any questions about the router, I would be super happy to talk to you about it. I hope everybody's doing well. I'll see you soon.